Archons and the phenomenon of déjà vu, are they manipulators of reality? The explanation of the mysterious phenomenon of déjà vu? Have you ever wondered why you have that inexplicable feeling that a certain situation has happened to you before? A simple glance at an unfamiliar room, a banal conversation, or even a place you have never been before can awaken an overwhelming feeling of familiarity. This bizarre experience, known as déjà vu, is one of the greatest mysteries of the human mind. What hides this seemingly impossible phenomenon? Is it just an illusion of our brain, an error in the way we perceive reality? Or could it be evidence of a hidden past, forgotten memories, or even a connection to other dimensions? Until now, déjà vu has been shrouded in controversial theories and unanswered questions. But what does science know about this strange and fascinating phenomenon? For centuries, brilliant minds in philosophy, neurology, and psychology have tried to unravel the mystery of déjà vu. But it's only in recent years that modern research has begun to uncover startling clues about what might be triggering this strange sensation. Is déjà vu just a trick of our brains, a processing error? Or is there something more, something we still don't fully understand? Imagine this scenario: you are walking into a completely new place, but suddenly everything feels extremely familiar. You have no memory of ever being there, but every street corner, every sound, seems to be plucked from a long-forgotten dream. How is this possible? What hidden mechanisms of the mind are at play? In this episode, we explore the origins of déjà vu. Why do millions of people around the world experience this strange feeling? Theories behind the mystery: is it a brain abnormality, a memory short-circuit, or a hint at the existence of parallel worlds? Modern scientific explanations: what does research say about how the brain recreates the sense of familiarity? Behind every seemingly trivial question lies a fascinating story about how our brains work and how we perceive reality. Prepare to discover surprising truths about this phenomenon that unites us all. Join us as we explore one of the most fascinating mysteries of the human mind, déjà vu. How does the sensation of déjà vu form? An exploration into the mysteries of the mind. Have you ever wondered what triggers that inexplicable feeling of "I've experienced this before"? Why do we sometimes feel as if reality is overlapping with a vague fragment of the past, even if our mind cannot locate that experience in a concrete context? How is this illusion of familiarity born that, for a few seconds, makes us doubt the very nature of reality? At the beginning of the millennium, Alan Brown, a researcher passionate about mysterious phenomena of the mind, decided to answer these questions and reveal the secrets behind déjà vu. What did he discover? Surprisingly, almost two-thirds of the world's population experiences this sensation at least once in their lives. But why? And why do some people experience this phenomenon more often than others? A brain puzzle or a window into the unknown? Brown started with a simple but profound hypothesis: if déjà vu is, in fact, a product of the way the brain processes information, then there must be a clear mechanism underlying the phenomenon. In his research, he found that the sensation of déjà vu is closely linked to specific triggers, the most common of which are familial scenes, an unfamiliar place that somehow feels extremely familiar; conversations, phrases or words that trigger a vague feeling that you have heard them before; emotions, a state of mind that resembles something you have felt before, without being able to remember the context. But what makes this discovery truly fascinating is that not everyone experiences déjà vu in the same way. Some people feel only a fleeting wave of familiarity, while others are overwhelmed by an almost supernatural sensation of reliving entire moments from the past. A memory short-circuit or something more? To understand this phenomenon, we need to take a deeper look at how memory works. Our brains are incredible organs, capable of storing billions of memories and accessing them in a split second. But sometimes this extraordinary process can go haywire, and the result is déjà vu. One of the leading theories suggests that déjà vu occurs when the brain experiences a small error in processing information. When you see a place or scene, the information is processed by two regions of the brain: the hippocampus, which manages long-term memory, and the visual cortex, which processes images in real time. If these regions don't communicate perfectly, the brain can misinterpret the new information as an old memory. The result? You feel like you've seen the place before, even if it's your first time there. But not all researchers agree that déjà vu is just a brain error. Some more daring theories suggest that this phenomenon could be evidence of a forgotten past or even the existence of parallel dimensions. What if the sensation of déjà vu is, in fact, a memory from another life or another universe? Connections with brain activity, a hidden clue? Another interesting aspect of the phenomenon of déjà vu is its connection with seizure activity in the brain. Studies conducted on epilepsy patients have shown that some of them frequently experience intense sensations of déjà vu just before a seizure. This has led researchers to believe that déjà vu could be triggered by abnormal activity in certain regions of the brain, especially in the temporal lobe, the part responsible for memory and emotions. While this explains some cases, the majority of people who experience déjà vu do not have any neurological condition. This means that there is still much unknown about how this phenomenon works. A phenomenon steeped in mystery and curiosity. Despite scientific advances, déjà vu remains a phenomenon that intrigues and fascinates. It is possible that the explanations are much more complex than we currently imagine. Is the sensation of déjà vu just a clue to how our minds perceive time and space? Is it a doorway to a deeper understanding of human consciousness? As researchers continue to study the subject, it is becoming clear that déjà vu is more than just a brain glitch. It is a window into the fascinating mysteries of our minds, and perhaps even reality itself. Questions that remain open. Could déjà vu be a clue to the existence of parallel worlds or multiple realities? Is there a way to intentionally trigger this sensation? How can this sensation help us better understand how our brains work? This is just a small piece of the complex puzzle of déjà vu. Join us to explore this phenomenon deeper and reveal the secrets behind it. Testing the phenomenon in the Psychology Lab, Science, Parallel Worlds, and Cosmic Mysteries. In a world where science is constantly pushing the boundaries of knowledge, the phenomenon of déjà vu maintains its place among the greatest enigmas of the human mind. What seems, at first glance, just a fleeting sensation of familiarity could actually be a window into something much deeper and more disturbing, clues to parallel worlds, residual memories from interactions with extraterrestrial civilizations, or, perhaps, subtle manipulations of reality by unknown entities such as Archons. But what do we really know about déjà vu, and how can science help us decipher this mystery? Research in psychology labs has revealed subtle mechanisms that suggest a close connection between memory, space, and consciousness. But these discoveries are just the beginning of a much bigger story, one that transcends the boundaries of conventional science. Psychological experiments, the spatial familiarity hypothesis. Building on Alan Brown's theories, Professor and Cleary's team initiated a set of experiments designed to test the so-called Gestalt familiarity hypothesis. According to this theory, déjà vu could be triggered by spatial similarities between a current scene and an unrecognized one stored somewhere in memory. Imagine, for example, entering a museum for the first time. The walls, the placement of objects, the lights, all these details create an overwhelming feeling of familiarity. Yet you never remembered being there. How is that possible? Cleary and her team used virtual reality to recreate such situations, discovering that subtle similarities between different scenes can activate the ghost of a past episode. But what if this episode is not just a memory? The connection with parallel realities, a disturbing hypothesis. Beyond the limits of psychological experiments, some researchers and philosophers have advanced the idea that déjà vu could be a brief intersection between parallel realities. According to theories in quantum physics, our universe could be part of a multiverse, an infinite set of parallel worlds in which every possibility is explored. This fascinating hypothesis suggests that when we experience déjà vu, our brain temporarily tunes to a different frequency, capturing information from a parallel version of ourselves. Perhaps, in another reality, you have already been to that museum or had that conversation that you are now reliving. The multiverse theory is starting to gain ground in the scientific community. And phenomena such as déjà vu seem to be among the most promising indications that these parallel worlds could be more than just theoretical speculation. Alien interactions and memory imprints. Another intriguing narrative thread related to déjà vu involves theories about extraterrestrial interactions. According to some, this sensation could be the result of a residual memory of experiences that have been erased or blocked by advanced entities. Numerous accounts of people who claim to have had alien abduction-type experiences include details of intense déjà vu. This raises the question: could déjà vu be a reactivated memory of an event erased from consciousness? Or perhaps a way for these advanced beings to monitor and interact with us? According to some conspiracy theories, extraterrestrial civilizations that have reached a level of technological development that is incomprehensible to us may be able to implant or modify memories. Thus, what we perceive as déjà vu could be a fragment left over from an erased memory, a slip-up in an otherwise perfect process of mind manipulation. The intervention of the Archons, the invisible manipulators of reality. From Gnostic mythology comes another point of view that amplifies the mystery surrounding déjà vu. Gnostics speak of Archons, entities considered the guardians of physical reality, subtle manipulators of human perceptions. According to this perspective, the Archons would have the ability to distort the perception of time and space, creating the illusion of a repetitive cycle. Déjà vu could be, from this perspective, a defect in the matrix of reality, a moment in which these entities fail to maintain the illusory flow of time. Furthermore, some Gnostic sources suggest that the Archons use these small breaches to interfere with the human mind, planting thoughts or emotions that do not belong to us. Thus, déjà vu could be a moment in a cosmic game, one in which we become aware, even for a moment, of the reality behind the curtain. What's next? Science and the mysteries of consciousness. Research into déjà vu continues, but between science and mystery, more questions remain than answers. Is this phenomenon just a game of memory? Or is it a window to other worlds, other lives, or other dimensions? Regardless of the final explanation, déjà vu continues to fascinate us and challenge our imagination. Is it just a passing sensation or a hint at a much deeper truth still hidden from the human mind?